From Las Vegas, the entertainment, music, and sports capital of the world, it's the JJ and Johnny Show.
We're on the air.
We're live. We're fabulous. Las Vegas, Nevada.
20 episodes.
20.
20.
Great to see you. Thanks for joining us.
$5
Hello.
foot long.
$5 foot long.
I miss those
What's your-
days.
Yeah, wasn't that
Hey,
great?
Cass.
The meatball was the best. $5.
That was
Miss
a
the $5
huge,
foot long.
huge, successful campaign for
Yeah.
Subway. I happen to know the owner of most of the Subways in Las
Here in
Vegas.
Las Vegas?
Fabulous woman.
Oh.
Yeah,
Really?
she owns, I think, almost 20 stores.
Wow.
What's your go-to order at Subway?
I am a cold cut combo girly. Or an Italian. On Italian herbs and cheese.
You know the good thing about an Italian? Well, a sandwich.
You're married to one.
You are one. So
You're-
cool.
yes.
I got Italian
your
no matter where
co-host
I
is
go.
one,
I
yeah.
got Italian men around me. This is not a bad thing. No, you know what's good about an Italian though is the way like the sliced onions go on top of the cold cuts, and then like the Italian dressing with the salt and pepper.
Yup.
Isn't that yummy?
Listen, I'm from Philadelphia. I love hoagies. But now
Oh.
as I've gotten older, there's saturated fat and the salt and all that stuff. It's
Well, I think
deli meats are not
although
good for
yeah,
you.
the deli meats have really
They're taking a hit.
they're on the
They're
they're
taking
on
a
the,
hit.
the
It's very true.
the no list.
Yeah, they're on the
okay,
no list.
here's my order at Subway: 6-inch wheat tuna.
Tuna.
Wow, you're a very trusting person.
I love tuna, but from Subway,
Freaking good. Pepper jack cheese,
love pepper jack.
peppers, peppercini, mustard. So it's
Wow,
spicy.
you got there's a lot going on.
It's spicy
on
and
that.
tangy.
When you would eat that at like when you used to do the show, did you go like brush your teeth afterwards?
I will not go close to someone after eating tuna.
Tuna is the killer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
you gotta watch your mouth.
it kills 5,000 people a year just from breath.
Oh, from breath. No, but then what you do is you get like maybe Ruffles or something thicker, maybe hopefully with ridges,
Oh,
and then you put them in the sandwich.
Yeah.
you're singing my song.
Okay, what's your order at Subway? If you
Well, a
want.
Subway, it really is the meatball sub because it's such a great deal. You know, 6 meatballs or 5 meatballs. What it was the
You do the
$5.
12-inch.
Well, no, on the $5 deal, I would just like give me the meatball sub because then I would say throw some lettuce on it, a couple tomatoes, some hot peppers. It was just like a meal. It was like an Italian, truly like an Italian meal. It was great. I just seemed to have a lot of value, you know.
Yum.
And then it would just hit your stomach. You're like, oh my
Oh, I'm full for like
Oh,
a
but the
a
chips
week.
are an absolute must. That crunch, oh, chef's kiss.
Sometimes I like to put the barbecue chips on. That reminds me of my childhood.
Yeah.
The barbecue
I
chips.
did that too. That's
they?
so funny.
Oh.
You know what I noticed when I moved here from New York, Philadelphia area, which had everything, but this town has more sub shops. I mean, there's Firehouse, there's Porta
Capriotti's.
Subs, there's Capriotti's. The Bobby is amazing, I have to admit. It's a nice
So
thing.
good.
But the list is Subway and Togo's, which is near
Togo's.
Togo's replaced the Subway near our house. I was kind of like, isn't it the same thing? But Togo's is little.
I'd say it's a little
It's a
higher
step
quality.
up.
Just a
It's a step up.
I don't know.
Nothing against your friend.
I wonder how the tunas at Togo's is.
I haven't tried it.
You
Makes
have?
me
No, I
wonder.
haven't.
Oh, you haven't?
We should,
You know what
though.
they got? What you have to have fresh bread at a sub shop.
Oh, they do. I think they bake it there too.
Oh,
Here's what I
nice.
find weird. Back east, they slice, the roll, the hoagie roll,
Yeah.
and it's open. Here,
Yeah.
everybody just goes right down the middle, and then they
that's
stack them.
so
Like, what are you
rude.
doing? What are you doing?
Yeah.
And you ask for an Italian here, and
That's
like
weird.
they're putting mayonnaise on. I'm like, what? Stop! That's not Italian.
There's a sin that happens at a Subway shop when they take literally. Have you ever seen like the spatula, and literally there's like a half a tub of mayonnaise on the thing? Like slow down with the mayo, dude.
Yeah.
Literally, they always put so much mayonnaise on the
Yeah.
sandwich.
Yeah,
You
no.
have to ask
Yeah.
for light mayo to have a regular amount of mayo.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Just like
Don't
you
know what it
really
is.
have to ask for a light Caesar salad to not have a completely soggied out Caesar salad.
It's swimming.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's like swamp creature.
But we were at Echo and Rig, which you and I have spoken about here in Las Vegas. There's
So good.
there's two locations. They're absolutely fantastic. All of
Delish.
their salads are amazing. They just whoever does them, they know the exact amount to put in. You never have to, this is soggy, or could you bring some more of the...
You know what else I don't respect is when you go to a place that's really quite good, and I'll say Yard House over at Town Square. They have a pretty great burger. It's a pretty solid burger.
Very
you know what I mean?
noisy.
Above average.
Oh, okay.
Very noisy, yeah. It's a fun.
Very
If you want to be in the action a little bit or watch a game,
Yeah,
go to Yard
with
House.
your buddies screaming,
Fries, kind of mediocre. There's just no excuse not to have excellent fries.
I haven't...
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I did a show recently. I taped it. It was a competition to a lot of Las Vegas people. And you had to guess they put fries in front of you to guess where they were from.
Cool.
Yeah, and I was right. I got them right. So
Where were the best ones from?
In-N-Out.
Really?
Yeah, I like In-N-Out. I like
You know what?
In-N-Out.
They're just because they're fresh. Because everything they make it in and out
Right,
fresh.
right in front of you.
Fresh, and the salt contents.
Is perfect.
Yeah,
To
yeah,
watch them
salt in
take the potatoes
Yeah.
and put them through and just cut them, and you see the pieces fall. It's not coming out of a frozen bag. It's delicious. It's really incredible. It's really incredible. And then I knew the McDonald's ones right away, and then the third ones were, I think, Five Guys. But they're chunkier.
Yeah, they're
you know?
thicker.
Yeah, they're thicker.
Yeah. I had fries at Balboa in Green Valley yesterday, and they have like these garlic fries, and they're thick, like the Five
Steak
Guys
fries?
ones. Yeah.
Kind of
Yeah.
almost.
Not
or
quite steak
on
fries
its way
because
to a
they're
steak
wide,
fry?
but
Yeah.
like square and like thick.
The
good.
thing about a really thin fry is
Cooks
that
through.
it's going to cool off quicker. So your chances of getting like a cold fry, a stiff
Goes
fry,
up.
it goes up.
But again, In-N-Out, you're seeing it come right out of. So they scoop it, put it in, and they give it to you. So the thing about steak fries is a lot of times at restaurants they don't cook them all the way through. So you bite into it,
yeah,
it's
that's-
great, and
yeah.
then you hit the middle,
And then
or it's
Yeah.
cold.
It's granular.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Like, this was frozen.
So Red
15
Robin
minutes
has
ago.
kind of a steak fry, but Red Robin has this
Red
fry
Robin.
salt.
Yum.
That's probably like a little bit. It's kind of reddish brown,
Yeah.
Right.
kind of some paprika, a little bit of hot, a little bit. So
Little
good.
bit, just a little
So
bit,
good.
So
just a
good.
little bit.
And I'm a sucker for like ranch with my fries.
Oh.
And Red Robin has that ranch. It's like watery, but it's so good.
Oh,
I'm a
have you
ranch
had the
person.
fry salt there?
Yes, it's great. It's amazing.
I feel like, yeah.
We're the fry. The worst thing we could be eating fries.
So it's October here in Las Vegas. There's so many fantastic events going on. John and I
And the weather,
Cass,
the weather. We're
It's
below
dropping
100. We're below 100.
We manifested it. We manifested it last episode.
we made it. We're still in the 90s.
But that doesn't stop all the amazing activities that happen here in Las Vegas and all the things that we've done just in the last week.
For sure.
Yeah.
So we were at the IMEX show. Actually, last Tuesday we were talking about going
Right.
to it because we went right after the show. It was a fabulous conference at Mandalay Bay with thousands of people in attendance.
It was like something out of a movie. I used to do a lot of trade shows pre-COVID, even the ones post-COVID, but this was truly packed. And for those of you who don't know, IMEX is the international event. Now I'm forgetting international meetings and event
I can help you
Expo?
with this one.
expo.
Yes.
Woo!
Yeah.
It's basically a giant trade show with
For the meeting
hotels or like, hey, visit Austin, visit Boise,
Nashville.
Idaho.
Yeah.
Right.
Visit. One of them was Morocco, which was so cool. They had like
didn't see that one.
Oh, Morocco had the sitting area with the tea, and they had actors playing. What's the movie with the whole new world?
Oh, Aladdin?
Aladdin, like an Aladdin and a female, and
Oh,
it was
wow.
great. So that was really cool. And what goes on at this meeting for those hotels, like Hilton will have this massive area, Hyatt, Marriott. And there's-
Sheraton.
And they'll have little teeny desks, smaller than this, and people who want to book space for a meeting literally sit down and they write the deal right there.
Yeah.
And you watch them. There's just hundreds of them. It's like the floor at the New York Stock Exchange. It was amazing.
We were all over that floor. We ran into a bunch of folks that you had met through entertaining across
Yeah.
the country. Super fun.
Yeah,
A big
and-
talent agent in New York.
Yes,
We spent
huge,
some time with her.
huge
She
booker
was
in New
so
York.
much fun.
Which we have to get that. We gotta get that video. There I
Yeah,
am.
yeah,
we
yeah.
gotta get that video up. It was just wonderful, and what I liked about it was, other than the incredible energy and that we were there and we met so many people, industry people, is
Oh,
it's
we're in
such
front
a,
of the Chicago booth.
yeah,
right here.
baby.
Hey, baby.
I think it shows how great the economy's doing.
Yeah.
How wonderful
Yeah.
things are, and I think IMAX is here every year. Is it here every?
I know it's been here for several years. So
Yeah.
you actually brought me to it for the first time. I hadn't been. So
Okay. Every time I've been doing it, it's been here. I don't think it changes location, but it when you think about it, like all the people who came in from Kenya and Morocco, there are and all the different countries, Bermuda, Australia, New Zealand, they all converge on Las Vegas. This is the meeting capital of the world.
us in Orlando, maybe, but
Us in Orlando.
But who counts
Yeah.
Florida?
But who counts Florida? Because they get hit by hurricanes and we don't. And this is one of the dependable things about Las Vegas. You can set up a meeting 2 years in advance and you know it is going to happen. And everybody was here. And we have these massive, beautiful hotels that make it possible.
For sure. And that's also why our sports are growing so much. We're becoming not only the entertainment capital of the world, but the sports capital of the world, because we can host your team. When you come to play the Raiders, we can host your team. You know, Pittsburgh in town this weekend. The Golden Knights, of course, we love our hockey team. Did you hear a rumor about William Karlsson maybe thinking of moving on from the Knights? God, say it isn't so.
Wow.
Say it
Is that a
isn't so.
reliable source or?
No, it's just a rumor. That's
right.
why I wanted to bring
I
it
think
up
we
on
should
our
talk.
show.
We should talk to Mark Chinook, Mr. Hockey.
Ooh, yeah.
Mr. Hockey.
Get the inside scoop with Mark
Yeah.
Chinook. So, Johnny, it's my birthday next week. My birthday's coming up. And every time
Happy
around my birthday,
birthday.
your birthday's in a
Dun,
few weeks.
dun.
We're both Scorpios.
Dun,
Sorry, Cass.
It's okay.
But every time my birthday comes up, I start thinking about kind of like reflecting, and I also definitely love to get my fortune told or
Yes.
my horoscope
You want to find
read.
out what's coming next?
around-
What's around
yes.
the corner?
And that gave us the idea for our next guest, who's going to be joining us in a moment, Mystic Mona.
Yes.
So before she comes on, though, we invite her in. I just wanted to find out a little bit more because you just had a reading with her.
Right.
Tell me her and her two partners. So what did you find out?
Well, just a little background. Mystic Mona is very well known here in Las Vegas. She's one of the top psychics. I would say the top one, right?
She when a TV show comes to town to film in Las Vegas and they need a psychic, they call Mystic
They have
Mona.
called, Kimmel
She's
called
at all
her
the big
and-
events.
Yeah, she's all the big events.
Yep.
She's
She's
known
legit.
even in LA. She's super great. I actually knew of her before I moved here because a good friend of mine, when I was moving here 13 years ago, said, you have to meet my cousin, Mystic Mona. And we met pretty soon after that. She gave me a reading then. I've had subsequent readings. She asked me over the 12, 13 years I've been here, and had subsequent readings, but also have run into her many, many times. She's been on events that I've been on. We've hired her for
Yep.
my birthdays and things like that. So she's part of my community. And this was different, though, because it was 3 readings, an astrologer, a psychic, and a tarot card reader.
Yeah,
Is that right?
she's hooked up with 2 other women, and so it's sort of like an astrological trifecta. These 3 women, and they're doing a ongoing radio show together. They're doing a podcast, and then they've started doing live shows here in Las Vegas.
Well,
And
you can call in if you're the lucky person they pick up. you
It's
know.
so neat to get those 3 different perspectives.
It's
right?
like a 360 of your life, where you're going relationship-wise, where you're going career-wise, where you're going health-wise, whatever comes up for them, whatever they're getting energy
What
from.
did they focus on with you?
For me, it was all, career stuff. They see big things happening for me, very
Huge?
specific things. Huge things are happening, I have to tell you. So it was, and it just gives you a perspective. And you're in your own bubble when it comes to your own career. It's unless you have a coach or something like that. But to hear three people, two who've never met you, say some things and really hit the nail on the head, it's very exciting.
Cool.
It's very exciting to hear that. But you went to the live show.
Yeah, I went to the live show. It was really neat to see other people that, they would each present a question to the panel, and then the three women would give their feedback. And, everything skewed. There's definitely like a very kind of positive female vibe
Right.
that they collectively
It's a lot
are
of
there.
Mother Earth.
They're there to lift people up. They're
Yeah.
there to kind of help people, point people towards the right decisions,
Right.
and to support people.
Right.
That is clear. There's no doom or gloom. So
But
it's
you know
really
what I like?
interesting.
What I like about what Mona does with the tarot cards, and I'm a novice. I only know what I know from all this stuff. But she picks the cards. They're shuffled right in front. She picks the cards, and whatever those cards are, that's the reading.
Yeah.
Like it or not.
Yep.
Good or bad. She always tries to spin it in a positive way. But I've always thought that was very interesting. And she interprets the cards for you. And it's amazing how, with those cards, it's like, wow, that is right. That card is right on based on the question I asked.
Yeah, well, it's always just really neat just to leave it open, like open up your mind and consider
open up your
if this
mind.
will be the way.
Just kind of like just let it happen and see what comes out.
We don't want to sit here and bore you guys with our fortunes today. So Johnny and I have decided really kind of lean into some more pop culture
Lean in.
questions that we're going to ask Mystic Mona. We're going to have her walk in here in just a moment and get her mic on. But while we do, we're going to show a highlight because I went to see Earth, Wind, and Fire over the weekend. 3 of the original members of the band were on stage. Out of 12 musicians, the gentlemen are 73 years old at this point, killing it at the Venetian. They always come back to perform multiple times throughout the year. So if you're a big Earth, Wind, and Fire fan,
100%.
who isn't?
Who isn't?
Who isn't? Cass, you an Earth, Wind, and Fire fan?
I love Earth, Wind, and Fire.
If you take
So good. So
anybody in
good.
my age range and probably a decade or two back, it's the soundtrack of their lives.
Yeah.
They just were hit after
Good
hit
stuff.
after hit, and it's all just beautiful music.
Well, they're still making beautiful music. Speaking of spreading good vibes, the audience, the video I have from the audience, they just turned around for a moment and took video because it's a completely positive, uplifting everyone out of their chairs.
Right.
People of different ages and races coming together. And I was just so grateful to be in that room. I'm like, this is the kind of place I want to be. You know what I mean?
awesome.
It's good. It's good stuff. So we'll take a
That's-
look and we'll get
that's
Mona
beautiful.
in here. Are back with one of our very good friends, Las Vegas psychic mystic Mona. We are so excited to have you in studio with us.
Thank you for inviting me. This is one of the most amazing shows and probably one of the best watched podcasts in the city. So I kind of feel a little bit honored.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you.
Well, as I was saying, before we taped this, I was saying how you are iconic. You're an iconic part of Las Vegas.
You're the first person who's ever called me iconic.
Yeah,
So
everyone knows you here
thank
in
you.
town.
Thank,
All the
you're so
entertainers
sweet.
know you at
Thank
all
you.
the events.
Thank you.
Well, Mystic Mona is a licensed psychic, actually,
Yes,
with
yes.
the spiritual arts, I believe.
Psychic arts.
Psychic arts, there
It
you go.
involves a criminal background investigation. Readers are supposed to have this license in order to do it legally. So,
Mm-hmm.
so I've had it since 2002. So this is my 22nd year in business.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who performs what is that? You go to City Hall and they.
Well, what happens? It's not a test of psychic ability, which is
Right.
bizarre.
Right.
But what they do is it's a criminal background investigation, so it is as extensive as a gaming license.
Wow.
So
Oh my gosh.
I know, right?
Just tough.
So the different jurisdictions, City of Las Vegas, Clark County, North Las Vegas, City of Henderson, they all have this psychic arts license. So wherever your office is based, that's where you need to have the license. and 98% of the readers will work out of a commercial space and not out of their home. So one of the things that's required is when you walk in the office, you have to see the psychic arts license posted on the wall, and it needs to be in a prominent place, and that's how you know someone has the psychic arts license. So plus you can always do a license search with any of those jurisdictions and find out who has the license.
See that you learn things watching this show. I didn't know that. Did you know that?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Bottom line is, Mystic Mona is legit. Mona Van Joseph is her God-given name.
Thank you.
And she's part of the community here in Vegas. She's also donates a lot of her time to the various nonprofits around town. She's been on my show, The Morning Blend, in the past. She's been on Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh my God, that was
Speaking
so
of
cool.
ABC.
Yeah.
And Sister Wives.
And Sister Wives, and what else? There's probably more. 'cause
There's
you've been on
there's
so many
a
television shows.
program that was so cool, and we filmed it at the Pioneer Saloon in Good Springs called Dead Famous. So Dead Famous.
Wow.
And I actually did a reading for the venue regarding Carol Lombard and Clark Gable, because Clark Gable went there because when Carol Lombard died in the plane crash, that's and I
He was so distraught.
Yeah, I get goosebumps talking about that.
Yeah.
It was a crazy episode. You have to dig deep to find it, but it's out there somewhere. But the Sister Wives one, there was someone who did. You know how these people take somebody else's reels and then they make their own thing out of it. Well, there was someone that did a sensational reel about how every prediction I made for each of the Sister Wives came true.
Wow.
But they flash on my name like that long. But there's a picture of me doing the reading. But what if I told you a psychic predicted what was going to happen with each of the Sister Wives? Well, the funny thing, they flash on my little Mystic Mona sign for like that long. So if you don't know who I am, it's like you got to freeze the frame to go, what was the name on that sign? So
Well, today we're going to have your name up the entire time that we're doing this reading.
Okay, yeah.
And Johnny
Full
and Mona
time.
have known each other for a long time, so
And had
we're
multiple
friends here.
readings. And had multiple readings.
Multiple readings.
And the most recent one was the Vegas 3.
oh my gosh. Well, and you got to do that as a Zoomer into the
Yeah.
program. So we got to see your face as each of the readers were doing your questions. And the concept of the show is you call in with a question and it gets answered by an astrologer, a medium, and me. So you
they
get
cover all the
It's a
bases.
3-dimensional view of what's
Yeah.
going on with you. So
So cool.
And I just this weekend saw your show, 3, that is
thank you.
You saw the
live
live,
here at the
yeah.
Composers Room. Yeah,
Yes.
it's fascinating because, like you mentioned, you get to see an astrologer, a medium, and yourself a psychic who uses tarot.
right. So I call myself an intuitive tarot consultant because the word psychic has a lot of prickly vibes to that word because so many people use it to represent so many things. But what I specifically do is I do a reading for someone. I'm looking at the picture of the moment right now and what's likely to happen moving forward. So it's not a cast in stone, can I give you the lottery numbers? Because if that was the case, none of us would be working because I'd give you the lottery numbers.
Right.
I'd give you the lottery numbers.
You
I'd
get
give
a lottery number. You get a lottery number.
I go, what stock should I invest in right now?
IBM.
So,
It's going to take off.
no, BlackBerry,
You go. Oh my God. We'll go with all of them.
GameStop. Anyway, so
Okay, so I'm
So you have
dying
a
to jump
question.
into it. Yeah,
Okay,
we're going to
all
go
right.
in with some pop culture questions.
okay, you got it. All right, what do you want to ask?
Well, first and foremost, let's talk Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce.
Okay,
We want to know, will there be
We
an
wanna know.
engagement?
We want to know.
I'm surprised.
Will there be an engagement in the next year?
Okay,
In the
see,
next 12 calendar
so
months.
here's the funny thing: is I'm surprised it didn't happen already.
Why are you surprised? Did you get some kind of a
Well,
psychic
when you
bump?
asked the question, my answer was maybe it's already been discussed, but it's just not public. And when we ask a yes or no question, if all the cards are upright, it's a definite yes. These two are going to be together. The public scrutiny on them, though, was kind of more. It was a surprise to both of them. But it's amazing to me how much publicity they're both getting because of this. It's almost like our version of the royal couple, but an actual real love story, not something that seems like it's arranged. Like when you go into London and you know, all of what happened with Princess Diana and Charles and all that. It's like that was an arranged thing. You know,
Right.
we know that, right? But this, they found each other. And if I remember the story right, he reached out to her and says, I want to take you on a date. It was like so direct. And she took a look at him. She, okay, right? Because they were both kind of famous enough. It wasn't like he was a homeless
Yeah,
stalker.
there's got to be a
Yeah.
not equal, but somewhere in that
he's
celebrity
got, he's got
range.
the prenup's going to be pretty extensive.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I mean, is Taylor Swift a billionaire yet?
Yeah.
She has to be.
Isn't she the first billionaire?
I thought
self-made?
Beyonce was the first
maybe.
billionaire.
Okay.
Well, we'll look
We
it
can
up.
always we can always check.
We could do research on that. So, but anyway,
We do it real time.
The answer is yes.
Yes, she is a
The
a
first
billionaire.
artist to
October
achieve billionaire
2023.
status.
Oh my
She
God,
is the first
There you go.
artist.
That's crazy. Well,
Yeah.
it'll be one heck of a prenup.
So just a little over a year she's been.
She's tired of being alone. Taylor is.
Aren't
It's
we
like-
all?
Well, no, but here's the thing, and this is an
Even those of us that are bad.
this is an obvious answer to the question, is that she's surrounded with so many people that are like pulling on her, tugging on her, want to be close to her, and so she's surrounded by all these people, but there are very, very few people, you can count them on one hand, that she actually really wants to spend time with.
Right.
And one of them is him. This is him. This is Taylor, and this is him.
and
this
they were
is-
right next to each other.
They're
when
right
you drew
next
the
to each other.
cards.
And then this is her tired of being alone and doing it all herself. And she's now, over this last year, had this epiphany. This card's called New Vision. And it's like a spiritual epiphany or a spiritual landing into your psyche. And again, this is the first guy. I mean, now they've been dating for a year. I mean, it's not like this is something that they went on a date and then we got the big scandal that they broke up. But I wonder if it's already been discussed. I also wonder if they're planning it at a certain time to actually do the proposal. And I think it's going to be at the stadium on the screen with her in the VIP box.
I just got goosebumps.
Okay, and it's going to be where he gets in the middle. I'm getting goosebumps telling you this. He's going to be in the middle of the stadium. All the cameras are going to be on him. He's going to kneel, and he's going to hold this box and just show it to her. I'm seriously, my whole body just went total goosebumps. That's how he's going to propose. It's going to be so public, and it'll probably be, I get November, December when the proposal happens.
Oh, I thought he might wait to the end of the football season.
No. Nope. It's going to happen. There's something about November, December that it's going to happen. And it's like that one time on the Oscars where Ellen DeGeneres ordered pizza for everybody. She was
Yeah.
the host, remember? And then she did this selfie. I think Matthew McConaughey was in it. No,
Everybody was there.
everyone was in it.
Yeah.
All these people squished in for this. She goes, we're going to break Twitter. And they did. It's going to be
Right.
that kind of a thing. But I get this very, very.
So it's got to be at the end of the game once the game is over.
Oh yeah, end
Yeah.
of the game. It's like it'll be. Stay tuned for a special announcement, or we have a special entertainer, whatever. It's like, and again, it could be prearranged with Taylor and him, right? That she could come down and then he does it. But I think the bigger thing would be on the Zoom camera, on the screens. He gets down on one knee, still in his freaking football uniform,
Oh,
and he's
man.
got the box
That's hot.
from Tiffany's or from Van Cleef and
Ring
Arpels.
sales are going to go through the roof.
Oh my God!
after
Yes,
that.
exactly. But it's going to be the
Engagements,
box,
yeah.
and it's going to be a respectable emerald cut ring.
Wow.
She's talking about the cut of the diamond.
Cut of the diamond.
That was fantastic.
He
Let's
needs
move
to.
on.
You know what? She
Yeah.
needs to connect with DNR House of Diamonds. Our local amazing jeweler here that does amazing work. So by appointment, by the way. They're just my faves. Just FYI. Okay. I got to throw them in there because.
Oh, my question.
Hold on. They sponsor Night of the Witches with their pendant every year, their diamond pendant.
Right.
So I got to plug them whenever I can.
Neat.
Yeah, they donate it every
Yes.
year. 8th year coming up in October.
I just hope none of our sponsors are upset. But we don't have any.
Right.
So we're
Oh, so okay. Wait. Now think about it. We just had
Actually, we do have one.
We okay. You mean besides you?
Bob's House of Storm Doors is now our sponsor.
That would be the best. I would love them as a sponsor. I would love it.
So hard to get a good storm door.
Okay, it's your
what's your
question.
question?
It's my question, of
Yeah.
course, since I'm a Trump impersonator. I thought, will Melania stay with Trump or divorce Trump after the election?
Boy, that's a really good question. Let's see what it says.
I think a lot has to do with the outcome of the election itself. Because I spoke with my Melania this morning at 5:30 a.m., Michaela.
Yeah, what'd she say?
She wants to get back and start shooting some stuff.
Okay, so she is incredibly talented.
So amazing.
Oh my God, and
Does
she's,
radio in the morning, sings,
Oh my God.
sings
And-
all over
and-
town at night.
and she's beautiful and smart and funny.
She is, and I've said this before, I did a series with her called Orange Acres. She is one of the greatest comedic actresses with no training.
Timing.
With no training,
her
she is
timing.
better than some actresses I've worked with who are very well trained. Great timing, you mentioned. Great characterization. Great improvisation. She just is so organic in her approach. She's just amazing.
Yep, she's a keeper.
Yeah,
Okay, so is the question, will Melania leave Trump?
yeah. We'll yeah, after the election.
Because we have to ask it as a yes or no, not an
yeah.
either or.
Got
Okay.
it. Yeah.
This says no.
Okay.
So what we do is we look for the majority of the cards that are upright for the answer of yes.
Right.
Majority of the cards that are reversed, the answer is no. But she's got the biggest card in the deck as the answer of no. So this card called the Master is this card of being in a situation where she would not be able to leave him. So that might mean that he wins the election.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Because if he wins the election, then
She's got to stay.
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, and there might be a financial arrangement for her to stay.
Oh, absolutely. I don't doubt that for a second.
But this is saying no, which means it kind of begs the other question: why would she not leave him? Well,
Right.
if he doesn't win the election, then she will leave him. But
Right.
if he does win the election, this is saying she stays because she gets an offer to stay for that
Oh, that's what that means?
connected to the number 4.
Right.
4 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fascinating. Is the Master, is that Sad Guru?
Okay, so this card called the Master is an extra card on my tarot deck, and I use the Osho Zen tarot deck.
Right.
And it's actually a depiction of Osho himself. So Osho basically approved having this deck done. And when I found this deck, I've been reading it now with this deck now for about 16, 18 years. When I went through the cards, I got to this one card, and my whole body went goosebumps. It's like when I talked about the proposal scenario.
Right.
It's like I got goosebumps when I did that. Well, this deck has a 79th card. All other tarot decks have a 78 card, and a lot of people aren't aware that the minor arcana connected with tarot is your regular playing deck. So I can read with a regular playing deck of cards as well. So, but this card is the most powerful card in the whole deck. Now it's reversed. She has it reversed, which means that she would not want to stay, but she would be made an offer to stay, and then it would probably be that should he win the election, she would agree to stay for 4 years, and then she would get her payout, and she would probably divorce him then.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's what these
in
say.
line with what I was thinking.
Yeah, well, you're absolutely correct, you psychic friend, you. Okay, all right. So what else you guys want to ask? Isn't this fun?
So there's this guy named Diddy.
Oh my God, boy, is he?
I don't know if you've heard about him
I've never heard of that.
recently.
Oh, man.
This is like just a giant scandal. Not the first kind of.
No, but it seems
national
very
scandal.
complex, and
Yes.
how many people are involved, and
Yes.
you know, Bieber and a lot of these other artists.
And more crap's coming out of the woodwork.
More crap's coming out of the woodwork. So, in addition to him being a very disturbed individual, I think we are finding out that there's just so many people that enabled this situation and enable situations where there's a lot of dysfunction. It's very common, especially in Hollywood, but not at all limited to Hollywood. I don't know if we can ask the cards. Can we ask the cards what it is we have to learn as a society right now in America from this situation?
It's a very global question.
Okay. Let me
So
get a little-
the more
yep.
specific you are,
Okay.
the more I can be helpful. But I'm telling you that this is not the first scandal
Okay, let me rephrase it. What
Yeah,
is
boil it
wrong?
down.
What is wrong with people that they saw a situation like what was happening with Diddy and his abusers for years,
Okay.
and they didn't do anything about
Okay.
it? What is wrong
But
with
we've got the Olympic doctors. Yeah, you know, for the Olympics, the gymnastics doctors.
Epstein,
You're
except-
taking the words out of my mouth.
You could go to any small town in America and find similar situations.
Right. But they're what I'm blown away by and amazed by is how long it was quiet. How long
Yes.
it was like
But when they're
a
going
secret
back,
handshake or
They're
something.
playing
Yes.
lyrics from songs and like so and so warned us about Diddy, so and so warned us about Diddy, so and so because it's in their raps and their lyrics about Diddy's parties and that once you're there you can't leave and so.
Well, how about
it's
how
been
many
boiling.
times did events go? Security guards came in and ushered people off, or like how many people in
For
security?
tapes disappear? Yeah. Well, they just get paid off.
Okay, so we need to find a more specific question coming out of this. Can you help me?
Well, I would just say, when will he go to trial?
Okay. Why don't we just ask what's going to happen with Diddy?
Yeah, let's do
just
that.
ask that.
What's going to happen with Diddy? 1, 2, 3.
You guys did that really well.
Yeah.
It's like you were like practicing.
It
or
is
something.
our 20th episode today.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Okay, there's that card called the Master
Yeah,
again.
he's back.
So justice prevails. So in other words, he gets his karma, and it's karma that satisfies the public. It satisfies because I have to tell you, this is the most powerful card anyone can get in a reading. It's the most successful card. This card called the Master reversed, literally
Again, upside down.
Upside down. It means that justice prevails over evil. So basically, this card, when it's reversed, it's like spotlight on evil in some way. All right. This is the card of receptivity. This is the card of everyone loving the verdict. So these three cards say the public loves the verdict. This is basically Diddy has no chance.
Wow.
He has no chance.
Well, it certainly seems like it because when they go ahead with an arrest at a federal level like that, they've got a lot
Right.
of evidence.
Right. Well, and the thing is that his status, his fame, it won't save him. Matter of fact, if anything, it's now working against him. It's like all those people that he tricked, they're all going to throw him under the bus now. And I think there will be hundreds of people that step up to testify. That, they will say, well, yeah, we showed up at this party thinking it was just be a, kind of a little celebrity party, and we were told we couldn't leave until after Diddy left. I'm just saying.
I do like that though. For any party I'm going to be throwing, no one can leave until I leave. This is a great
Okay, but
Did you
idea.
see John doing that?
But you realize in old world etiquette, in classic etiquette, that the guest showed up before the guest of honor got there. The guest didn't leave till the guest of honor left. That was like old.
But
protocol.
you know what I loved about the
Guest
old
of honor.
protocol?
What?
You would arrive, and there was someone at the door. Instead of wearing a how many times you've been at a party? It's like, who's that guy? But when you arrive, someone
be
would say,
announced.
"Ladies and gentlemen, John DiDomenico,
And the
the
fabulous
entertainer
Michelle.
of Las Vegas, with the balloon lady Michelle Rothstein of Long Beach, California." And you're like, oh, that's what they do. That's their name, and that's where they're from.
Right.
I always
Brilliant.
thought that was super smart.
Brilliant.
Right.
How about the little dance cards that used to have like people's names on them that you would get paired with? And
Okay, well, and when you went to, and we see it at weddings now, but we don't really see it anywhere else. But at formal parties, there used to be place cards where the guests would sit. So it
That's
wasn't
still happening.
yeah,
It was just
well,
at a
at the
wedding.
weddings, yeah.
yeah, but now it's more of a free for all.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And protocol also dictates that whoever sits to the right of the host is the guest of honor.
Right.
So if you were the host and you had Taylor Swift at your party, Taylor would be sitting to your right, and then her fiance across
My
would
fiance.
would be across the table or next to her.
Right.
Either one. So yeah.
Exciting. I love all that
next
old
question
etiquette.
is in your court.
Oh,
Oh, really? Let's see. Pop Las Vegas has so much. We talk about this every single episode. There's so many things happening, so many things coming and going and so forth.
Well, think of one with one of your favorite entertainers. I don't know. One of your favorite people.
Well,
though.
I'm thrilled that Bruno Mars is here.
Oh yeah, well he's in debt, so he's forced to be here.
What do you mean Bruno Mars is in debt?
He's in gambling debt. He's in over his head for over $50 million.
Is
No
that true?
way.
I didn't know that.
That's why That's why he's stuck here.
That's why he's got the pink
Yeah.
ring.
I had no idea.
Alleged.
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 Alleged. Heard it in the alleyway behind the Park MGM.
Yeah. I was going to ask
Wink,
about this
wink.
too.
Yeah.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
What are we asking?
Do it. Do it. Do it.
Okay.
So I have a friend in town right now. He was just so overwhelmed because he'd been here before, but his schedule. He's a producer for corporate events. He finally got to see the Eagles. He wanted to see U2, but they were left.
I hear that was an amazing show at the
All the
Sphere.
shows have been incredible. YouTube blew my mind. The question is, who's next after the Eagles? Who would be the next group of artists?
Okay, I don't need the cards for that.
Okay, you
But
already know.
I think it's going to be someone big, like a Beyonce.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's talk of Beyonce.
it could even.
I heard it was the Jonas Brothers. Is that going to happen?
There's
can
so
ask-
many rumors.
Okay.
No way.
Okay. For example, if Barbara Streisand were to come out and do one more show, it would be at the Sphere. If Cher were to come out and do one more show, it would be at the Sphere,
like that.
right?
But for her to do that, she'd have to
Bring
turn
back Britney.
Oh my God.
Oh God!
Yes.
Britney at the Sphere.
Her knife show.
Oh my God. I just want to hug her and tell her it's going to be okay. I feel so bad for her.
Can we ask a question about Britney?
Sure, can
Yeah,
we?
what do you wanna
Can
ask?
she
What's your
answer?
question?
Okay.
I just interrupted.
Will Britney ever perform again?
You mean besides on Instagram?
Yeah, like a real. Will a
Vegas?
company insure her to produce a show to get on stage that by the time that show opens that she can actually perform and not
Yes.
be a
in
mess?
about a year and a half. There's going to be a guy that comes along that actually holds her hand through all of it, because now she's not in any kind of conservatorship or she's got dad's not controlling everything anymore. There's going to be another guy that comes along that is he's not interested in her sexually, okay? So
Who would that be?
I'm just saying. He's a.
I don't want you for sex, just for money.
Well, here's the
Maybe
thing.
he has a fatherly feeling towards her. John.
Okay,
Maybe it's her father.
whoever this guy is,
He's had his chance.
Yeah, true.
whoever this guy is, he's very well connected. And according to this, Britney's lost a lot of her connections.
Oh, for sure.
I have to tell you, I think the height of her career was when she was on the Austin Powers movie as one of the bots.
That was a very zeitgeist moment.
I mean,
for
it was
her.
like perfect for her to be chosen.
Yeah.
I mean, so many celebrities want to be in an Austin Power movies. Is there going to be another Austin Powers movie?
No, there won't be.
Oh, that's too bad because
Yeah.
it's we don't.
Absolutely not.
I'm going to ask that question after
Austin
this.
has, I mean, Mike Myers will only work with Roach, the director of the other three. He is booked out for literally like the next 7 years.
Well, make
So the
some
earliest
space,
you
Roach.
could, you know
what
what I mean?
else are you doing?
Vern Troyer has passed away. I think Mike Myers, as they have done with all the James Bonds, should turn the franchise over to a young comedic actor, and they should reboot the entire franchise. All new cast, and just revitalize it.
But
a great
he
idea.
makes the movie.
Yeah, well, that's what they said about Sean Connery.
Okay, well, that's true. And I mean,
No
and
one could see anyone
okay.
beyond
it would
Sean
have to
Connery.
be the right person.
I'm telling you, I'm in love with Daniel Craig. Even though he's doing some weird Belvedere commercials right now, I loves me some Daniel Craig. I think he's the best James Bond. I do. Okay. Sean Connery, yeah, that's okay. But have you watched the videos of him for Belvedere vodka?
No, but I have not a direct connection. I have a good friend who was a stage manager for a show he was doing in Brooklyn. This was easily 12, 13 years ago. And it was with Hugh Jackman. It was off Broadway. You
Yeah.
can look it up. Something About the Rain. And he said that guy was the most focused, the most intense, and he worked his body and he worked his mind, and he said he was, by him and Hugh Jackman, they're very much equals. How hard they worked on this play. He was just so impressed. He was a stage manager with every major actor, and he was just really impressed.
love
and I
hearing that
think
about
this
people.
may have been like just after the first James Bond, or wait, I forget the timeline.
My God.
But it was very. I was very impressed.
That's
I like
where
to
I
hear
fell
that.
in love with Daniel Craig.
Yeah, and not a diva
'Cause-
in any shape or form.
Casino
Nobody
Royale-
with him.
Well,
other than an assistant.
And
that was it.
and here's the other thing is that he already declared that he's not leaving his millions and millions of dollars to his kids. He declared that years ago. I mean, he's worth like, I don't know, 280.
He's worth a
For
lot.
what reason? Like, what
because
was
they
his-
need to earn their own way.
Nice. I respect that.
That might change if
Love
they
that.
have a good business plan. You
Love
know,
that,
I mean, it
love
might
that.
change, but yeah, he's not going to make them
Well,
automatic.
so many celebrity kids, we see them suffer from overprivilege. It's
Right.
just, it's almost as much of a pattern as childhood star is a
Right.
difficult situation.
Right.
Kids of famous people in Hollywood are notoriously lost.
Yeah.
It's just a
And
thing.
also kids of very wealthy people. That second generation.
Absolutely.
with
If
the
they're
money.
overly indulged,
Yeah.
100%.
Like the Menendez brothers.
oh,
Or the Kardashians.
They haven't killed anybody, have
No,
they?
that's true. Well,
ask the cards.
They seem to be working a little, the Kardashians.
well, no, it's funny because they haven't killed people, but they've kind of killed.
Our soul.
The culture.
Well, it's there's a TV series out there called The Kardashians, and it's about cats, and I haven't watched it yet, but I'd be more inclined to watch that. And I have not watched an episode of The Kardashians because I don't agree with how they got famous. Because that was all a springboard off the OJ
You mean the
trial.
the tape?
Well, no,
The X-rated tape?
no. The way they got famous was because their father was connected with the
Their
O.J.
dad's
Simpson.
Oh,
Fame
no,
around
I knew
representing
that.
OJ.
Okay, that was it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like.
Yeah, that was a low point.
But
in
back
her-
to Britney.
Yes.
We'll go back to Britney.
Okay, so Britney's going to do well.
So this is saying that there's going to be some sort of a soft relaunch for her in about a year and a half. And this is either someone she already knows or someone she already trusts that takes the burden away from her trying to do this all on her own. Because she can't do it on her own. I mean, she's still beautiful. She's still in shape. I'm sure she can still sing.
Whoever that person is going to have some kind of a profile, a trusted profile. Otherwise, it'll be like, who is this guy?
Right.
What's going on? You
Right.
can't trust him.
Right. And it may be somebody that
The more legit, the
her
better.
agent
Yeah.
might be somebody that her agent finds for her, and it's going to be, I think, super secret until a month before it happens.
It'd be so great if she came back to Vegas because it could be.
Oh,
she
my
would go
God.
back to Planet Hollywood, and it would be like me and all the gays in the audience, and we'd be there for that.
Right. Well, I'd be there for that.
Okay, you and I, and all the gays.
And the psychics would be there for that.
Because
the
wasn't
second-
the last residency a mess? Am I correct?
No, I don't know. I don't think that's fair.
okay.
No,
All right.
no.
But
it's easy to call. It's easy to hate on
Somebody
like
said
anything
she was
does.
lethargic and wasn't really
Well, maybe
was
she
giving
was
singing.
100%.
You know how many
Yeah.
shows she was doing at night though?
Honestly, I don't know.
If you've seen
and I
Britney
have no
perform,
axe to grind against her.
Yeah,
I,
right. No.
I thought she was, honestly, like she was a freaking phenomena.
Right,
When she
right.
first came out, I'd never seen
Yeah.
anyone like just explode the way she did.
Well, okay, you could actually put her in the same category as Madonna for that, because Madonna came on the scene years ago and exploded, right? Think of
I would tend to disagree with that only because she came from a Disney background and had a whole team. Madonna, I have friends who knew she had to do everything herself.
very
Right.
She did
resourceful.
everything
But
herself.
the fact that Madonna did everything herself and then she, what was the movie she was in? Oh crap!
The first one, the early one.
It's where they're dressed up like the 80s. I can
Yeah.
see. I
Oh,
can
it's Desperately Seeking Susan.
Yeah, there you go. Desperately Seeking Susan
That
was her
one.
first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Such a-
she worked
that-
and worked. She worked for a very, very long time before she got
Evita,
any
she
kind
was
of a break.
amazing in Evita.
It was
Yeah.
like she fought her way off the streets.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah,
She had
right.
a
Almost,
very
yeah.
tough
Right,
upbringing
yeah.
in Detroit, and it was, and people I knew people who knew her when she was in New York, really trying to break through.
But really, being a Disney child and then having a very, very controlling family is a different struggle.
Right.
Oh, it's a totally
You know what I
different
mean?
struggle,
But
but at least you're
a struggle
insulated
as
and
well.
you have a machine, the largest single entertainment company on earth, pushing you out. Madonna did dance shows, like the after-school dance shows in Philadelphia, and she was so poor that the reason she looked the way she looked was she used to go to thrift stores
stores
and
and
like
stuff,
well this
yeah.
looks good and listen, and I was impressed with her tenacity and how she kept going. Now she can stop. You can stop, honey.
Well, okay. So the other performer that had a huge launch, Miley Cyrus.
Just slow down a little bit. Maybe. Oh, Miley.
Miley, that woman is so
She's
talented.
interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
So on Jimmy Fallon, she did her version where she made up new lyrics to Santa Baby.
Yeah.
If you guys Google that, it is the
Okay.
best version of Santa Baby because she changed all the lyrics.
Yeah.
And it is, and of course she's got this voice that's got this range.
She's
I mean,
incredible. She's
but,
so much. She's very raw.
But
right?
it's like I love her more in the last couple of years than I did when she first launched because you can see her coming into her own. You can see that she's really
She's an
relaxed
artist.
into herself.
She's a
Yeah.
Oh
unique
my God,
artist.
yes.
But even on Hannah Montana, she was very funny.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
a real there's a real comedic skill there.
Yeah, well, she's
being
got
able
good
to
timing.
play there's two characters.
Yeah, it's fantastic. All
was
right,
great.
what else you guys want to ask?
I don't know, Cass. Do you have a question?
I don't know if I have a question. I've kind of been sitting here listening and thinking. I do want to ask about the election because a lot of people want to know about that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe let's be straightforward.
Can you put your camera on?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cass Cam.
Let's get Cass on.
Cass
Cass
Cam.
Cam.
Hold on.
Cass
Dun,
Cam.
dun,
I'm not
dun,
Mystic
dun.
Mona.
Excellent. Cass
Hi,
Cam.
everybody.
Hi.
So, will Kamala win the election?
Okay, see, I'm glad you asked it like that because I can't do who will win.
Right.
But if you ask a specific person.
Yes or no?
Now, remember, just by me doing this answer, everything could change as soon as the answer's out there. Do you see what I'm
Totally.
saying? Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask the question, will Kamala win the election? I'm just going to ask that, okay?
Let's just see.
We're all like, here, pin
Okay.
drop.
Okay, so this is reversed. This is upright. This is upright. This is upright. These are reversed. If I were advising her on what to say now, is that she needs to address things that she's not addressing right now. Okay, she needs to take the election seriously, and not just because she's likable. Do you see what I mean? Okay, but 3 out of the 5 cards are upright. So when we ask a yes or no question, that means yes, that means yes, that means yes. Now, this card called awareness resonates to a card called the Chariot in traditional tarot. It is the ultimate politics card. And she has it upright, which means she's using, and I'm going to say it like this. The Chariot shows a gladiator in a chariot with a white sphinx and a black sphinx ahead of the gladiator. So they're at rest.
So the white sphinx is Tim Walz, and she's the
No, but you could go that way. A lot of people think that the white sphinx represents good and the black sphinx represents evil. Now, the gladiator can't just tap one to go forward. The gladiator will go like this. He can't tap the other one, or will go like, he's got to tap the forces of good and evil to go in one direction, which means he's using...
That's the Democratic Party.
Right. So he's using the energies of good and evil, but not identifying those energies of good and evil. He's focused on the goal.
Which one is?
So-
Yep.
So since you specifically asked about her, these cards are saying yes, but. Okay, there's a but. She hasn't addressed what people really want her to address. I'm just saying. So if she were to do that, then people's opinions in the next couple of weeks would change. I'm just
The
saying.
undecided voters, maybe.
But when we asked,
Yeah.
but hold on, but we asked the question earlier: will Melania leave Donald Trump? Well, those cards.
yes, but right?
Oh no, it was no, because of she would be in a situation where she couldn't leave, or it wouldn't be financially
There was
attractive for her to
Okay.
leave.
There was a
so,
deal.
So there might have been a deal.
Right,
So
like a prenup.
again, as soon as we put the words out there, the vibration of everything changes. Okay, it's like last night I was thinking of a specific client, and I thought I'm just going to check in with him. So I texted him. Well, the second I hit send, a text came in from him, and he goes, "Did you just text me like right this minute?" And of course I came back with ha 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 ha, right? Because yes, I did. Well, it's the energy. Okay, so like I remember, this is an example, but I remember I'd been dating my husband for about a year and I don't know, 9 months, and he hadn't brought up the future. He hadn't brought up anything, and I started getting a little wacky in my head about it, and I thought, no. I'll wait till we've been dating 2 years. That's the appropriate time for me to go, hey,
What's up?
what are you thinking about the future? Right. Well, a week later, he proposed. So it's all about a shift in energy, right? So it's like just kind of a universal thing that when people go into the vibration, that miracles could happen any minute, that things can happen in a magical moment, right? Well, then things start to happen that way.
Yeah. Oh,
Right?
that's, yeah.
Right?
Totally.
So-
People's career, actors' careers, even politicians.
Right.
Since we're talking about that, something shifts, and all of a sudden, I remember with Bill Clinton, all of a sudden he took off,
Right.
and he was this governor from Arkansas, no one knew, and all of a sudden it just zoomed.
Yeah, who cares about the blue dress?
Right. Well, that was later.
I know.
Right.
And I think Monica
I'm not excusing him. Just so you know.
Well, and didn't Monica Lewinsky have her own line of lipstick that sold out like millions of little
Monica's
tubes?
actually become a very evolved, interesting person.
Yeah, she's fascinating.
All right. Anything else you guys
I
want
have one more quick
Yeah,
question.
please.
Can I?
Yeah.
My favorite comedian, Chelsea Handler, is
Oh
coming
God,
back.
I love her. I love her.
She's coming back to the Chelsea at the Chelsea.
Chelsea at the Chelsea.
Just yesterday, it was announced that 50 Cent, her old boyfriend, is coming to Vegas, doing shows in January and early in the year. Is he still in love with Chelsea Handler?
Well, who wouldn't be? I'm in love with Chelsea Handler.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Wait, they dated? Wow. Well, and
I had
what-
no
Okay.
idea.
Okay. This is a big yes because all the cards are upright.
Hold on, just for clarification. He could be in New York in love with Chelsea Handler. Are you talking about them getting
no, he's
together?
gonna
or-
be here.
It just
No,
feels to me he's booking a residency so he can be
Be
in town
close
at the
by.
same time. she is.
Yes, and I agree with that because he screwed up earlier, which is why they broke up. He wasn't participating, or he was lazy in the relationship. That's what this
He was
says.
only giving 25 cents.
Oh, and ever since she's been out of his life, he feels like something's missing. And you know what? It's so interesting because I've often seen people, they date somebody and then they break up, and then years later they come back, and then the relationship is super, super solid moving forward. And I'm not talking
Like
about
Ben and J-Lo?
I was just thinking that Ben and J Lo. I really had hoped that was gonna.
Yeah.
I'm sad about
I
that.
honestly don't think if you are being sober in recovery that you can deal with someone like who's a diva. You literally have to screw your feet to the ground to stay away from alcohol.
Right.
And when you're dealing with someone who's, and I don't know, I only know is what I read, but she seems very demanding and kind of above and beyond the reality
And
of.
someone said that she doesn't tip.
Oh, she's called Palo.
Oh,
Yeah, she's notorious for that, for not
right,
tipping.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's
So-
crazy.
yeah.
And then
But-
and then we have heroes like Tiger Woods that's sponsoring young golfers.
Are we calling Tiger Woods a hero? I'm still mad at him.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still mad at him too, but I still think that he's trying to make amends. I think he's trying to do something bigger than himself.
That's good.
Okay.
You're not selling
I'm
it.
not-
No.
Young golfers.
You know what? I always acknowledge people's positive behavior.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have to acknowledge that.
Because you're a giver.
My heart's a little broken for her still. That's all.
Oh.
And his children.
Yeah, well,
I think he should spend a lot of time with unwed mothers. That's what
Yeah.
he should be doing. That will
Okay.
turn him around.
So I'm back to 50 cents.
50 Cent.
What it's saying here is that he has connived this. He has arranged this to be in the same city as she is, and he's. I think he's going to do whatever he can to reconnect with her, if nothing else, to apologize to her for maybe being a dick.
Boom.
She is an interesting, like, she was married to a TV exec, and she was with Joe Coy. And,
She was technically ever married to the TV exec.
oh, she wasn't?
No, I don't think she's
I
been
thought
married.
oh, okay.
Technically, but you're right. She was very much with him. Yeah, she's had a
Yeah.
lot of different boyfriends. She just loves
Different,
men.
totally different
Yeah.
types of guys.
Yeah.
You know, usually there is a specific type, but it's very fascinating.
Totally.
The different, How long was
Totally.
she with Joe Coy? It seemed pretty short.
Joe Coy. No, it was a good year and a half. I mean, God, they got us.
That was really long.
That's a
I
lifetime.
mean, they.
It's celebrity. It's the
Right.
lifetime.
They presented. They were such a couple during the pandemic, right?
Yeah,
Their
because
little home
I
videos.
would go
It
to
was so
Instagram and they'd be
cute.
together at the
They're
house.
ordering
and,
Pizza Hut. Yeah.
Yeah,
Joe Coy's so nice, but anyway.
very funny.
I
guy.
think Pizza Hut should be a sponsor of you, or Little Caesars.
you.
Yeah.
Pizza,
one of
Pizza,
the-
pizza.
Pizza,
Pizza.
pizza.
I think Little Caesars.
I love the.
I would
history.
love to see you actually dressed up as Caesar, holding a piece of pizza, and do a commercial for them and send it to them saying, you could be our sponsor.
That
Right.
would be hilarious.
Do we have a Little Caesars here?
Oh,
We're gonna
God,
find
yes.
one.
There
We've
are?
got, there's
really
one
cute.
like a mile from my house.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah. So, but you could totally do Caesar.
I could totally do this.
Mona, we have your website at the bottom of
Oh,
the screen.
thank you,
But
yes.
Mona has a podcast,
Oh, my God.
a radio
it's-
show. You can connect with her.
Yes.
If you're coming to Las Vegas and book her in person or
For an event. Yeah.
do a phone appointment with her.
Oh,
as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
There's so many ways
So-
to reach out to Mystic Mona.
So the cool thing that we have two things that are going on that are out there on the media. The first is I do Psychic View, the podcast, and I do that daily for 15 minutes, and I choose one caller for a deep dive into a full spread of cards.
Oh, that's
and I do it
awesome.
every day.
Cool.
Yes.
And you go on Instagram or on X and find me. Psychic View, you can find it. But the other thing that I've endeavored into, and you touched on that earlier, is that we do a show called 3.Vegas, so www.3.Vegas, and it's where three readers answer a question for someone. Now, Johnny D was a recent Zoomer into our program, and he asked a question, and it was answered by Chris Gray, our astrologer, Rainy Day, our clairvoyant medium, and me. I'm your
I love that
intuitive-
name, Rainy Day.
Well,
Her real
that's
name.
actually that's her real name. Her mom was a hippie, and
Wow.
I think her brother's name is Chris Gray, or Chris Day, Christmas Day.
Wow.
Anyway, I know, right? But these two amazingly talented women, the fact that the three of us are addressing a question, and we just did our first live show at the Composers Room, and it was amazing. And thank you for being there. That was so wonderful of you. And so our next live show is going to be on January 4th. So mark your calendars, because we'll be choosing people from the whole audience randomly to do readings.
How
It'll
much
be
does
some-
it cost to attend the show?
$20.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like one of the best little shows in Vegas. So yeah, so at least I'd like to think it is.
And does everyone have an opportunity to get called on?
Yes. So your $20 ticket, you fill out a little card that you put your birth date, your name, and your first initial or last initial, and then your birth date, birthplace, birth time. Now our astrologer is so in tuned to people, because if you put 12 noon, she's not going to pick your card.
Right.
If you put 1:34 as your time, she's going to probably pick your card, because that means that she can get a much more exact. Oh, I think I was born in the afternoon. Well, we usually don't choose those people that email into the program to Zoom in. If they have a random, or I think I was born at 6 o'clock at night, we don't choose them. We choose the people that know what their exact birth time is.
Interesting.
It's so cool. And
Yeah.
you were on our show, and it was so phenomenal. We loved having you
Oh,
on
it
the
was
show.
great. It was so
And
great to be on.
And so, by the way, when does this program air?
Today.
Okay,
Today.
so it's airing now, which means if you go to WWDB TV off of YouTube, you can see Johnny D's episode
Yes.
today.
Very
which is
enlightening.
very cool.
Very
yeah.
enlightening.
Yeah.
Well, Mona, we're going to wrap it up there. We thank you so much for joining
Oh
us.
my God.
We're going to say goodbye to everybody actually
Thank
right now,
you.
because we've taken so much amazing time to shed a light on your skills.
I'm grateful for that.
You gave
Thank
us like some really amazing predictions. I
Yes.
have to I go back and watch this a couple times. So
It's pretty good. It's
thanks
pretty
for
good.
joining us, guys, for
Thank
episode
you.
20. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, everybody.